Welcome to MsMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 Disenchanted callbacks to the original.
It's not like she's gonna try and be your mother.
You mean stepmother?
Right, she's gonna be a nice stepmother, and she's gonna take you to school tomorrow, just you and her, for some grown-up girl bonding time.
I'm only 6.
You won't always be.
For this list, we'll be looking at references to the first Enchanted that popped up in the sequel 15 years later. There's no spell to suspend spoilers here. Did you catch any callbacks? Let us know in the comments. Number 10. The Book. Disenchanted promotes Pip to narrator, filling in for Julie Andrews.
Once upon a time, in a magical kingdom known as Andalasia, there lived an evil queen.
The sequel opens with Pip reading a story to his offspring. No, not Silence Isn't Golden. Pip reads the book Enchanted, which opened and closed the first film. Of course, this isn't a pop-up book like the last one. Maybe it's a reprint? In any case, Pip recaps how Giselle traveled from Andalasia to New York. In addition to revisiting several familiar plot points, Pip provides his rendition of True Love's Kiss.
I've been dreaming of a true love's kiss, and a prince I'm hoping comes with this.
No offense, but we prefer Amy Adams' musical chops. Pip's children know the story and songs so well that they can sum it up quicker than him.
So Giselle and Robert fell in love, and they lived ever after.
Pip thus feels it's time for Giselle's after happily ever after story, pulling Disenchanted off the shelf.
See, it turns out New York wasn't Giselle's happily ever after all. Well, I'm not too proud of my part in this one, but if you two will get into bed, I'll read it to you.
Number 9. Trolls. The original Enchanted commences with Prince Edward rescuing Giselle from a giant troll.
Oh, you shall not prevail, foul troll! That maiden is mine!
By the end, the troll appears to be reformed, as he stands in line for Pip's book signing.
Here you go, sweetheart.
All right, everybody, don't crowd now. There's plenty of copies for everyone.
As we return to Andalasia in Disenchanted, the green troll can be found fishing with some of his brethren on a peaceful day as humans pass by. Rather than hunt trolls, the kingdom has seemingly accepted them into society. In the third act, the troll joins Edward, Nancy, and the woodland critters in an effort to save Andalasia from losing all of its magic.
If we can't reverse this, everything Andalasian will be gone. Forever.
I don't want Andalasia to disappear forever.
I know.
Andalasia might not have a troll problem anymore, but they still have to deal with dragons, ogre rebellions, and the occasionally world-ending wish.
I wouldn't say easier. We have dragons and ogre rebellions.
Number 8. Poisoned Apple. Among the first film's many references to Disney staples, Queen Nerissa tries to take Giselle out of the picture by feeding her a poisoned apple.
You must hurry. The magic will not work unless you take a bite before the clock strikes 12. Hurry now.
Nerissa is long gone and Disenchanted, but she's not the only evil queen who keeps a poisoned apple on hand. Thinking of ways to deal with Giselle, Malvina rummages through her cabinets where a poisoned apple is stocked. Malvina ultimately decides against using the tainted fruit, feeling that it's too cliched for her tastes.
Is a poisoned apple too cliche?
That doesn't mean she's against using other classic villain tactics. Malvina instead winds up using a sleeping potion on Morgan during the climax.
Relax, darling. It's just a little sleeping potion. It was actually meant for Giselle, but this'll do.
The potion has pretty much the same effect as the apple, although True Love's Kiss isn't the remedy this time.
Calling pop culture superfans everywhere. Do you love to argue with WatchMojo's top 10 ranks? Introducing WatchMojo's first and very own party game. Bring your superpowers to the table and fight for your pick to be at the top of the list. It's all the fun of the comment section, but in real life.
Number 7. New York's animal population. Giselle has a way with animals, whether they're cute and cuddly or ridden with disease. In New York, she made fast friends with the local rats, roaches, and pigeons, who helped to clean Robert's apartment.
We adore each filthy tour that we determine. So friends, even though you're vermin, we're a happy work.
Or do they actually make it filthier? Either way, They remain close with Giselle throughout the years, but it's time for a new chapter in Disenchanted.
I know that change can be scary, but it can also be exciting. Think of all of the wonderful new people you're going to meet who will love you just as much as I do.
Heading for Monroeville, Giselle bids farewell to her vermin pals, reminding them that they can always reach her with a familiar musical call. Giselle finds more animal companions in the suburbs. The pigeons are about the same, but Giselle trades the rats and roaches for deer, raccoons, and skunks.
We'll be best of friends with the local deer, the fluffy raccoons, and the cuddly skunks.
We'd call that an upgrade other than the skunk part, unless their name is Flower. Number 6. Giselle's Treehouse. Disenchanted provides a bit more backstory for Giselle, revealing that she was found in the woods and raised by the animals.
A baby was found in the forest. With no mother or father to speak of, the baby was raised by the animals, who loved her as one of their own.
That explains why she lived in a literal treehouse. When Morgan ventures to Andalasia to reverse Giselle's wish, she finally gets to see her mother's treehouse up front. The house looks almost exactly the same, although there are several cracks in the exterior, a few holes in the roof, and the vines could use some trimming.
Okay, I knew it was a tree house, but that's a tree house.
We do whimsy really well.
Maybe this is because the magic is being sucked out of Andalasia, or maybe the property's upkeep simply went downhill after Giselle left. We're guessing that the animals still take up shelter there, but critters can only do so much housekeeping without someone to sing the happy working song.
This just won't do.
Number 5. Having a ball. Enchanted naturally built up to a fairy tale ball. So does Disenchanted. Well, technically it's called a festival in the sequel, but that's poisoned apples and oranges.
In Andalasia, we have festivals all the time, and everybody knows the prince and the princess, and now everyone will know you.
Yes, the sequence still takes us back to the original film's King and Queen's Ball, with chandeliers hanging above an assortment of well-dressed couples doing the waltz. However, this celebration has a few unique touches, like a golden aerial fountain in the background. You can also spot a dragon sculpture, calling Nerissa's transformation to mind. The party once again comes to an abrupt halt as Giselle confronts an evil queen. This time, though, there's wickedness on both sides of the ballroom.
And I believe it's time we end this, once and for all.
Oh, yes. Please.
Number 4. Dragon Slaying. The original movie reversed the typical damsel in distress setup with Giselle having to rescue Robert from a dragon.
Giselle! Oh my, this is a twist on our story. It's the brave little princess coming to the rescue.
With Giselle wishing for a fairy tale life, Robert is finally given the chance to play Dragon Slayer.
A bellow of distress! Finally.
Even with Edward's sword, monster hunting is still not Robert's strong suit. Upon finding a fire-breathing beast, Robert vows to slay it as everyone else observes.
Have you done this before?
Of course, yes, I've slain many a dragon.
Robert manages to humiliate himself twice before a young boy merely drops a boulder in front of the dragon's lair.
I shall!
No offense, sir, but you might want to find another profession.
At least Robert somehow avoided getting third-degree burns. Dragon slaying might not be the profession for Robert, but he does get to do more during the climax as he helps stall the clock from striking midnight. Number 3. Stepmothers. Stepmoms played a fundamental role in Enchanted. Shopping with Giselle, Morgan confides that she has reservations about Nancy becoming her stepmother. Her last name is Tremaine, after all. Giselle assures her that not all stepmoms are evil, unless they're from a fairy tale world like Queen Nerissa.
It's not true what they say. I have met so many kind and wonderful stepmothers. Edward has a stepmother. Well, I've never met her, but I hear she's just lovely.
Disenchanted builds upon this theme with Giselle now being Morgan's stepmom.
But you do not talk to your mother like that!
My mother?
She is not my mother. She's my stepmother. That's all she'll ever be.
Stepmother.
While Morgan considers Giselle her mom, she begins to worry that she's not as loved as her younger sibling. This is a relatable issue for many blended families, magic aside.
I can't. I'm not a true daughter of Andalasia.
You are a true daughter of Andalasia. Because you are my daughter, Morgan.
That said, when magic does come into the mix, Giselle's wish for a fairy tale life turns her into a regular Lady Tremaine. This premise not only ties into the first film, but it showcases Amy Adams' comedic range as she shifts from pure-hearted to wicked.
Stepmothers, well, they're wicked.
Wicked good.
Check on that one.
Number 2. Sporadic musical numbers. The first film soundtrack cleverly evolved along with the characters, having each song draw inspiration from a different Disney era. Alan Menken and Stephen Schwartz return for Disenchanted, meaning more spontaneous musical numbers.
Don't sing. It's okay. You know, let's just walk. Can we walk? Okay.
Well, does she?
Yeah.
How does she know that you love her?
Oh!
He knows the song too.
While the songs are mostly original, they're in the tradition of the Disney legacy like the first. Giselle receives another happy-go-lucky song entitled Even More Enchanted.
Please, we really don't need to.
Here we are, a family starting over, where life will be nicer and newer now.
When Giselle gets her fairy tale life, inanimate objects come alive a la Be Our Guest.
Come be our guest, and you won't ever be depressed.
This franchise also finally delivers a villain song, with Giselle and Malvina competing to see who can be badder.
You may think you're bad, but darling, I am badder. Really, sweetie, where's the thrill in being just a has-been, wannabe villain?
And yes, Idina Menzel's singing chops are at last put to effective use. Menzel's musical contributions got cut from Enchanted due to pacing, but the filmmakers officially made it up to her here.
So we'll sing it out into the world, we'll sing along. What makes us grow? Love power.
Before we unveil our top pick, here are a few honorable mentions. Artie, the construction worker, has changed professions. Matt Servito returned to play a mover this time.
The answer to my love's duet.
I'd like to find one of them too, you know?
Then keep a wary eye out, Artie.
Shopping spree. Giselle and Morgan's search for ball gowns feels sadder in the sequel.
How do I look?
Oh, Morgan, you look wonderful. What do you think?
It's beautiful.
Then we'll take it.
2 Morgans for the price of 1. Gabriella Baldacchino plays her brilliantly in the sequel, but Rachel Covey pops up in Monrelasia.
For the festival, m'lady?
Oh, the festival, is that still happening?
Down the wishing well to Andalasia this time. Just like how Narissa sent Giselle to New York City, Giselle pushes Morgan through a portal.
Save us.
Number 1. Morgan's Memory Tree. Morgan's relationship with her mother is encapsulated in her memory tree, which features a few photos from the first movie, including Robert and Giselle's Central Park outing. When Morgan goes to Andalasia, the memory tree takes on a literal form with memories growing from the branches.
The point is that it's a memory tree. And as we say in Andalasia,
Memories are the most powerful magic of all, I know. I'm not really sure it works the same way here.
Enchanted moments are given a hand-drawn makeover, such as Morgan getting out of the taxi to meet Giselle.
For a little girl with no mom, seeing a princess hanging from a billboard was magic. I knew it was real, I didn't even have to think about it.
You can spot other moments like Giselle's pizza dinner with Robert, Giselle hugging Morgan, and Giselle swooning over her homemade prince. There are even moments that we didn't get to see in the original film, like Giselle and Robert's wedding.
It's like soaring on a magic broomstick to the sky above. With love power.
Dialogue from the first film is heard, and with that, the core memories are restored.
This is a date. She's very kind and very sweet.
I'm right here, Morgan.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from MsMojo. And be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.